We have Bible schools in this country and around the world that are set up to teach that preacher God like you teach arithmetic. But you don't learn God like you learn the alphabet. There's no way that you can sit down and put God in an equation. This is a revelation of God. And we also have to have a revelation of the world we live in. Through the centuries, men have been able to excuse their actions and make way for what to do by separating certain areas of their life from the influence of the gospel. My God, what a mistake has been made, and the church has more or less gone along with it. Men believe they can leave God at the door of the business. They believe that they can leave God out of the business of life and still maintain the favor of God. There's nothing so frightening, mister, as to you and I to live in a willful place of doing what we know the Almighty doesn't approve of. When we actually willfully move in and do those things of our own accord that we know does not please God, there comes a time somewhere, someplace, that the Bible said there remains no more sacrifice. When the devil entered Judas Iscariot, he had reached a point of no return. Suddenly, there's no more choice. Satan entered. Up to this point, he could have said, I've been wrong. Jesus, I've been trying to betray you. I'm wrong. I want your forgiveness. He could have turned, had a choice in life. But suddenly, there is no more choice. The devil entered. Let me tell you, when that happens, then your feet are fixed unless somebody sets you free. You can't turn it around. Once it happens, there's no turning it back then without a deliverance from God. Demon possession comes suddenly. There comes a time when God turns you over. When God moves back, the vacuum is there. Hell moves into it. And it always, I had a book years ago. I've tore up every bookshelf, and my wife helping me to find that old book. It was written by a missionary when most demon possession was in the darker areas of the world. Wasn't Front Street America then as it is now. But in that book, the missionary writing was talking to people that had been delivered from the demonic powers. And what a startling revelation that every time that person talked to him, and when he asked him the question, when did it happen? And it was always while in an act of sin, when in an act of disobedience to God, when willfully doing that which he knew God did not allow. The devil possession took place. It usually happens while in an act of sin and disobedience. This is especially true with those who know better. Christians who play with sin in any form are playing with fire. Christians, men that know God, and yet willfully do what God has forbidden in that life, has opened their heart for the entrance of a spirit you don't want. Because when that spirit comes, he's going to fashion your life after his own way. It's going to be that way. Anything in your life that you're doing or involved with as a believer and you feel uncomfortable with, then for God's sake leave it alone. Walk away from it. It isn't that important if you sit somewhere or you do something and you recognize an uneasiness spiritually. That's God telling you that you're walking on grounds that are dangerous. You're moving into an area where there is a place of no return. There'll come a time when there's no return. Judas knew better, but there came a time when he couldn't do better. All along the line, you can't tell me he didn't know that's the Son of God. He saw the miracles. He heard the message. He knew what he was, and he knew better, but there came a time when he couldn't do better. My God, that's a frightening thing to me. When I come to the 22nd chapter of the Gospel of Luke, and the Bible said that the devil entered a man. I know men can be devil-possessed, but it ever strike you, mister, that before you get home this morning, if your life isn't right, there can come into that spirit of yours an uninvited guest that somebody will have to set you free from.